Hi guys, I'm jumping on for another tarot lesson. I might not post another video for something like 2 to 3 days because I'm probably gonna just try to get my homework for the week out of the way and then come back to this. I kind of like to just get it done all at once, so this will be it for 2 or 3 days and then I'll be back. So today I'm going to do the King of Wands. Now I'm laughing because this morning I was shuffling the cards, and I picked one because I'm just picking one that I want to sit and look at and connect with and then bring it to YouTube. And of course I make sure it's one I haven't covered before. I need to update my playlist, and I'll do that, but it's just picking a card that I'm gonna do next. So I did that, and the card reminded me of my partner, and I told him, "You are the King of Wands," and he didn't really know what that meant because I think that, well, I talk his ear off, and I think sometimes he tunes me out a little bit, but that's just how that goes when you're constantly around somebody like that. And so some of the cards, I'm sure he knows what they mean, but he's not interested in the occult at all. He just supports what I do. So I just tried to explain that to him. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll make a video and I'll make him watch it, and that's it. So here with the King of Wands, this is a double fire element. So in terms of, like, if I was going to pick a card for, to really describe myself, it would be the Queen of Cups, because she's a double water element. All queens are a water element, and cups are also water because they're the emotions. And the Queen of Cups really has this sort of psychic element to her, where she is maybe an empath or clairvoyant, clairsentient, something that is just a little bit beyond the normal perception scope. And she's really the only, one of the only couple, the High Priestess being another, that kind of has an aspect of psychic stuff to it. So that's really interesting. But here, we've got a double fire, and as you can tell, I mean, we've got orange. This guy's in orange. His hair is red. He's fiery, and so of course what comes to mind is that fire is passionate and very much fierce. So the wand, of course, and he's holding it in his hand because he's a king, and there's these little, it's kind of got buds coming off of it. And that is, wands are more or less ideas, the suit of ideas, and they're budding. So, unlike the King of Pentacles, who's already really rich, this is more of a younger king who is just starting out in his life, really. So he doesn't have the decked out stuff that the King of Pentacles does. But what he does have is, budding ideas. And he's not just making, having these ideas, and he's not like in the phase. This isn't the phase where he's sitting around thinking, just coming up with ideas. He knows what he wants, and he puts it into action. And with the buds we get, this is coming into the material plane. So he knows how to manifest his ideas into the material plane, take them from ideas and make them real. So there's just that kind of aspect to it. He's got this little, he's chilling with his little salamander friend, his little spirit buddy at the bottom. And then, these are also salamanders that are kind of in the form of the Ouroboros, where they're, chasing their own tail. Because this is, if you see and that real briefly, the king is not looking at us. He is looking off into the distance, into the future. Because he has ideas, he is constantly, ideas are really, when we think about what an idea is, it happens for us in the present, the idea itself, but the idea is going to come, into the material plane in the future. And so he has his mind, his eyes, his head turned towards the future. And the Ouroboros chasing his tail is the symbol of always moving forward, no matter the struggle, the setbacks, the tragedy, the loss. Life and death, which are the same thing, except they're polarity. It's always moving forward. The momentum. So this guy, he has the momentum. Like I said, it's just indicating again, he's not just ideas. He is putting these into motion. So he really gets things done. And the salamander is really a fiery sort of creature that just really kind of brings together the fire element for us here. I also heard somebody mention to me that the salamander that's by him really represents the king's origins in poorer circumstances. Maybe he had some trauma or neglect growing up. He fought for his place as a king, and this wasn't handed. He didn't inherit the throne. He worked hard to get here, and he embraces, though, the salamander as his little buddy, his humble origins. He's aware of that. So the King of Wands, he's very tolerant of a range of people, of people who, even though he's a king, he's very understanding and loving towards his subjects because he didn't have an easy life, and he knows that life isn't easy. He's not really, in other words, he's not Buddha in Buddha's early life, where Buddha did not know what death is and suffering. This guy knows what those things are from personal experience, and he brings this to the throne. Because of a life lived, he knows how to be practical. It really brings that here for him. And then we have the lion, okay, if you see that on the throne. That is, he's kind of like, to me, we'll throw this out there, he's like a dad kind of a figure. Or, guardian of some kind, a trusted babysitter, even somebody who inspires the minds of younger people. Because he wants to be thought of as the pride of the lion, of the lions. He is in charge. He's dominant, and he's assertive. He knows what he wants, and but he needs the admiration. He needs the love of his family and close associates, subjects. He needs that love. So it is important to him what other people are feeling and thinking. These are important things when he sits on the throne and he considers what's going on. He is considering how the other person would feel, think, and that's what he takes into account. So it's just this. He has a real practical knowledge of the world, and on his, he's got his cloak. But the last kind of element that I'd like to bring is it's a clear blue sky. This everything's going his way. This is a clear idea. These ideas, they come to him, they're clear, and he's able to find a way to execute them. He is not, unlike really most of the other obviously wands, these are not ideas he has and then executes them himself, really. These are ideas that he has, and he has, his subjects, his family, friends, people around him, associates, do for him and he does with them. This is the group effort. So he visualizes the finance plan or the home project, and he has a clear, he knows those steps, okay? This King of Wand guy, he knows, step 1, step 2, step 3, all of it in his mind, but he needs help. The sense of community for this card, okay, is really here. He needs support, and that's kind of enforced by the lion, the pride of the lions, where he's very social. He really needs to have a level of that, not like a person who needs a ton of friends, but a close few associates. And then the last kind of thing, he's got this little necklace on, and it's really hard to exactly sort of discern what's on there. To me, it looks maybe more like a crab or something. But one of the points on that is that this is he is bound, the King of Wands. He's bound by the kingdom, really. And that necklace represents, being bound. He's bound to rules and regulations and traditionalism. And much of the tarot is based off of preconceived, traditional gender roles. A king is like a dad or a wise man who's out there in the world, and that's why he understands things. And a queen is in the home and the mother kind of a thing. That's just these exaggerated traditional roles that obviously used to be the standard in Western society. And so, we really get this in the tarot. They are exaggerated forms of people. The King of Wands could be somebody you know, or it can be a part of an aspect of yourself. But because he's upright, the king is bound by these rules, and he knows how to pull things off. He knows how to make ideas come together. He also knows how to make all people involved feel like they've contributed. If they put in a good effort, he's fair, tolerant, just. And he also is emotional. In this upright sense, this is when the emotional stuff is going his way. Because when people, really cross him, it's not that great. But yeah, he works and he makes things come together and executes plans, ideas, and everybody gets a fairness. So people come to him in a way, we're kind of looking at maybe a King Solomon figure. People come to him with their ideas, their concerns, and he's going to treat this with an aspect of emotional fire and fairness to understand that. Briefly, this is the reversed, which is that, for me, my thoughts are that he lets his emotions get away with him because he's double fire. There's a real potential for that. So if the emotions are not grounded in that sense, something angers him, somebody opposes him, he just can really lose it very easily. And that's when masculinity, this downward polarity of it, is that there's a potential for anger, and that is kind of what, men kind of, that is the expression of masculinity that is, I don't want to say really negative, but of course it can be if it's done too often, too much, and unchecked. And so, he has to remember that. He also kind of holds grudges. So if people, cross him, he'll really kind of blow up like a fire out of proportion, and it'll be hard to gain his trust back. But of course, you could do that. And so that's kind of the whole thing with his temperament. Another thing would be when he gets really angry and moody, he will lose track of time. And so these ideas, they can't become real because he's all over the place. Instead of we've got a methodical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step plan, it's like he's trying to do all over the place, and especially losing track of time, because when you become angry, you become ungrounded, and you lose your sense of time and space being grounded. So he's not able to articulate these ideas and execute those. This is a very great card. He's upright, he's financially stable, but not afraid to spend money and have a good time. But at the same time, he's going to save. He's literally looking towards the future. This is a great card to remind us all that you can be stable yet have fun, and we're always looking to the future in a way. Things are always in motion. There's always evolution involved. I'll see you guys later.